Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Nabil Zarazef, and I am one of the co-authors of a kid's book about adoption. And I'm so excited to be reading that with you today. And I'd like to introduce Leul.
Yeah, hi. My name is Leo Gursky. I am also one of the co-authors of Kids Book About Adoption, and I'm honored to have this ability to read this book to you.
So we'll go ahead and jump in. Leul, you want to start with the dedications?
I would love to. This book is dedicated to my loving memory of my birth great grandmother.
And I dedicated it to Courtney, Adi, and Amu, forever family. All right, the intro. All families have their own story, and for some families, adoption is part of that story. It can seem difficult to talk about because there's so many emotions surrounding adoption. But when kids talk about adoption, they just want to know the truth. So take it slow and keep the conversation going. Kids will experience a wide range of feelings and emotions about adoption. At times, they may see it as a special and beautiful way for families to come together. Other times, they might share feelings of sadness or loss. Those are all normal feelings, and chances are kids will bounce back and forth between them. But the cool part is that you, yes, you, as the grown up, get to help them understand those feelings. So, grown ups, you got this. Help the special kids in your life understand adoption through our story and get ready for a lot of questions.
Hi, my name is Leo. I was born in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. When I was 2 years old, I was placed for adoption. I'm black and was adopted by white parents. Now I'm 14 years old and live in Oregon. I'm just like any other kid. I love martial arts, music, and movies.
Hi, my name's Nabil. My son Adi was born in Chicago, Illinois. My wife and I adopted him when he was just born. Now he's 2 years old and we live in Oregon. Adi's just like any other toddler. He loves to play with toys and is always learning. Today we want to talk to you about adoption because it's something that's close to us in our families. There's a lot to know about it, and it looks a little different for every family, but we want to help you understand it.
So here we go. Chapter 1. There are different kinds of adoptions.
Adoption does not always look the same. When a kid is adopted, they have a new parent or parents. Those parents help them learn the things that they need to know for the rest of their lives and take care of them. Nabil. Sometimes kids are adopted when they're babies, like my son Adi. Other times, other times kids are much older when they're adopted, which can take some time for the kids and their new families to get used to. Some kids are adopted by other family members or by step parents. Other kids may be adopted after living in foster care.
I was adopted after living in a care home, but even after being adopted, I still have contact with my birth mother. We share pictures and stories with her often.
My wife and I talk to our son's birth mother regularly and want her to be a part of his life forever. With some adoptions, kids and birth parents aren't able to see each other. This can feel difficult or sad, while other times it might not seem like that big of a deal. Birth parents are the people who gave birth to you. We told you, there really are so many different kinds of adoptions.
And they're all special. Chapter 2. Adoption is a choice.
Our son's birth parents chose to place him for adoption, and my wife and I chose to adopt him. We choose to raise him and love him forever, no matter what. He's our son. Kids usually don't get a choice when it comes to being adopted, and that's usually up to the grown-ups, but it does happen sometimes. Just know that it's never an easy decision to place a kid for adoption, and it's never because the kid wasn't loved.
My parents adopted me because my birth family made a very difficult choice. They thought adoption would allow me to have what I need and would give me more opportunities to grow in a healthy way. This was really hard, but I know my birth family and my family who adopted me all love me.
Adoption's not an easy choice, but it is a choice made with
Hope for the future. Chapter 3. Families of adoptions are special.
No two families ever really look alike, and adoption is no different.
I was born in another country, which meant my adoption happened internationally. My family is multiracial, which means we don't all have the same skin color. When I'm out and about, some people don't get why I look different from my siblings or parents, and that's just us.
My son was adopted domestically, which is a fancy way of saying he was born in the same country that we live in. But even though he was born in the United States, we are also a multiracial family, and that's just us. Kids are adopted at different ages and of all genders. Kids also are adopted into different types of families. Some have a mom and a dad. Some have two moms or two dads. Some may just have one or neither.
Sometimes you might have siblings who were also adopted, like my sister. Other times you get new siblings that weren't adopted, like my little brother.
There's so many things that make families who have adopted really awesome and unique. There's no way we could mention them all here. The list just goes on and on and on and on and on and on.
Chapter 4. Others can be curious about adoption. In the past, kids have spread rumors and bullied me because I'm adopted. They've tried to make me feel bad about it, like I'm different. Adoption can feel lonely as if you're the only one, but kids are adopted all over the world all the time. You just might not know it.
Sometimes people make comments that I don't know how to respond to either. My family feels normal to me, but I can tell that we may seem unusual to others. Imagine if you were asked questions like these all the time.
Where did you come from?
What happened to his real parents? Do you still talk to them?
Why did your birth parents not want you?
Did you ever try to have kids of your own?
Why do you look different from your parents?
It can be exhausting and pretty hurtful to hear these kinds of questions.
It's okay for people to be curious about adoption, so be curious, but be kind.
Ask, but don't assume. We don't know everything either. Remember, these are our families. It's personal for us, and we have feelings.
Chapter 5. Adoption is cool.
Seriously, it's really cool. For my wife and I, adoption created a new family, a new bond, and a new love to last forever. Adoption isn't just about blood, skin, or culture. It's about the act of love and caring for another human, which is really cool.
Adoption hasn't stopped me from being myself. It's just a part of who I am. I have a beautiful family. We have so much fun together, and I'm so happy we have each other. All adoptions have their own story, unique story. My story is mine to tell.
Yes, my son Adi is adopted. But he's awesome for so many other reasons too. He has his own story to tell, and adoption is one part of who he is.
I want kids who are adopted to know they're not alone, and they have a friend in me. I can relate, and I know others can too.
We feel pride in adoption because it's part of our family's stories. Hopefully this helps you talk about your own stories and feelings about adoption as well.
The outro. Too many kids go through life feeling confused about adoption simply because nobody has talked to them about it. So let's talk about it. Take some time to explain what makes adoption so special. Even if you don't think you know someone who's been adopted, chances are you do. Remember that each adoption story is unique, and wanting the best for kids is always at the center. Let's not let any more kids walk through life feeling unseen or like they don't belong simply because they were adopted. Be open and honest, but also listen to what comes up with each kid, especially if they're adopted. You may be surprised by what you learn.
All right, well, that's the book. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for joining us today, and thank you to A Kid's Book About for all you do with the great books in the series.
I also really appreciate working with Nabil. Nabil, thank you for reading this with me.
Absolutely. Thanks, Leigh. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.